What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be talking about next week's event, which happens to fall on the Dragon Boat Festival. Now, in years past, this has always been in June, and it usually kind of lines up on off weeks for the anniversary event. This time, we are not having it line up. It's next week, whereas anniversary is 2 more weeks down the road, starting like the 21st of the month. And the best we can do to kind of prepare for what types of rewards you're going to get is, of course, looking at last year's Dragon Boat Festival with the Zongzi and everything. However, that did line up with the 7th anniversary. Now, one thing we can say for sure, because it is a Prophet Orb event, 640 Prophet Orbs. Make sure you guys have that saved up. In the meantime, while you're waiting for the events to actually get here, make sure you guys are getting like all of your tavern quests done. This is going to give you a lot of stuff, including 20 Prophet Orbs. If there are any special events this week, try to get them done to get additional resources. Get your Super Wishing Fountain stuff done too, because that's 5 more Prophet Orbs. And if you have these events rotating, then that's even better for you. But let's take a look and see what last year's special events were for, because again, last year was anniversary, so it was heroic scrolls. We can still kind of guess what our reward structure might look like, so let's do a little bit of a retrospective right now. So taking a look back at past year stuff, there's going to be a lot of extra events in here that are not quite as relevant, because you can see right here we had like 7th anniversary stuff going on. We had a bunch of different events going on, swap events. We did have the Zongzi, which is probably important, and that we'll get to in the later part, because one thing anniversary did have was a crazy amount of heroic scrolls. We will not see that for a couple more weeks. But I would imagine we see some sort of structure like this, where we're getting the event currency in the Prophet Orb loot instead of the heroic scroll loop. And the reward structure is probably going to look similar to this, except with a little bit of an update. What I imagine is there is potentially going to be treasure train stuff. I don't necessarily know if there is, though. That's a hard one to guess just because of the way this event is going to be laid out. I'm really hoping, though, you know how they like keep switching the Core of Origin and the Essence Sublimation chest back and forth in the 2 and the 3? I think it's honestly a time to put it on the easiest tier. Just getting a pay to win artifact for the first tier, I don't think is good anymore. They need to put Essence Sublimation in the first tier, leave Core of Origin in the second tier, and then put the new Deific, the Deific artifact chest, which is called the Origin artifact chest. Yeah, there's Origin everything in this game. They need to bump that up here to look a lot better, because the fact that these are like at 2 and 3 usually means this one you have to go very far in, and probably like 600 plus Prophet Orbs in this event, which I do not like. There was that special anniversary event as well. They got used additional resources based on the artwork. This right here is most definitely going to make a return, I feel like. We've had this event multiple times this year, where based on the amount of actual resources you get a couple of these like daily for free. Some of them are bought with gems, and then other ones are gotten through different parts of the event for spending and stuff. But essentially, you have a chance of getting one of these 3 Zongzi every single time you open. The highest chance of getting anything is going to be the low tier stuff. Mid tier stuff is the things like that. This one down here is probably going to have very similar types of resources, except you will most likely also see like Scattered Spirit Vein and potentially the Divine Power Aurora gems, or at least the shards for them. I'm kind of hoping they put the shards for Spirit Vein and Aurora in all 3 tiers, because we've seen that a lot more recently, where they put like just a lower quantity in the higher tiers, and I think that would be absolutely amazing to have, because that's one thing a lot of people need, and they can't necessarily do the bottom tier. But of course, these are the really good ones that give the premium stuff. We basically had this 3 times since Christmas, and I think Christmas was the first time our free-to-play account had this, and we got quite a few of these contract starry gems, which was a huge help. Then, based on the number of these that you get right here, you can get additional loot automatically every single day of the week of the event. Usually it's a 7-day event. You'll get a random number assigned to your account, and if one of these pulls ends up being that number, then you get triple the rewards. And of course, if you get up to 30 of that, like the egg Zongzi, the last one there. This guy here, you'll get a higher multiplier on the rewards. And then of course there are those soul stones as well. Getting to 100 is not something easy. You are going to have to spend for, but this is typically one of the better events during the Dragon Boat festivals. I imagine this will make a return since we had it last year at Anniversary. I feel like it's going to be the same. This was probably one of the best treasure trains ever. We'll talk about that when the 8th anniversary is getting closer. Again, we had a swap event, but that was part of the anniversary more than anything else. Really, last year was a little disappointing for the Dragon Boat because it did land on the anniversary. And that's a bad thing because, yeah, you could get these additional packs to open and event currencies through a relay package. I imagine we're gonna have a relay package next week, but besides that, like, this was the only Zongzi festival thing. I guarantee you we're probably gonna see something else attached to this to use event currency for, which should be a good bonus, and it should be, you know, similar to the past couple events we've had, just without any treasure train, because I don't think the Dragon Boat Festival itself will have a special treasure train series. Now, here's the silver lining of this week's event. Number one, we know we're not going to need any of these resources like Prophet Orbs for Anniversary. That's going to be a Heroic Scroll event, so you don't have to worry about, is this a bait event? Number two, even if you're playing free-to-play, like I am right here on our free-to-play account, we have basically 640 Prophet Orbs on this account, and we've used a couple, like 80 to 100, a couple different times on this account. So if you've started the game within the last 4 months, yeah, you might not have all the Prophet Orbs you need for this to get maximum rewards. Everybody else should. You should not have any issues completing this event. It has literally been over 6 months since we've had a worthwhile Prophet Orb event. Maybe like 4 months, because I'm pretty sure we had one earlier this year that was okay. So here's the silver lining to that as well. At the very least, you should have these resources to go to 640, which means you should be able to claim the rewards on this one. And I'm hoping the rewards are good. If sadly they aren't good and it requires all 640 Prophet Orbs, again, you have them. You better have them. Even if for some reason you've done some stupid things, you should have a decent amount of resources to potentially buy some more to hopefully get you there in the arena store. So that is like your last chance type thing, but let's be honest, you should have the Prophet Orbs. If you don't have the Prophet Orbs, that was, you did something wrong somewhere down the road and you shouldn't have done it, but you're here now and now you have to make the best out of it. So we will get hopefully more information on Tuesday, I hope. Otherwise, on Thursday, we'll have the full event breakdown as well as what you need to get to the different tiers of rewards. And hopefully the Dragon Boat Festival Zongzi portion is still really, really good. I love that event. It's happened like 3 times since our free-to-play started here 6 months ago, and I hope it comes back and it is really good again. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time. Don't worry, we'll talk about Anniversary in more detail in the weeks to come. See you guys next time.